guys, it's Coach Robin with Journey to Fitness. Welcome to Coach Robin's Organic Must-Haves every Friday at hopefully around 3:30, although today it's later because life. I'm gonna sneeze now. Excuse me. Excuse me. I was over at another coach's house today for a meeting, and her cat was crawling all over me, which I loved, except I'm allergic to cats, so stupid, but I can't help it. I love snugglers and pets. So today I want to talk about one of my non-negotiable organic things that I always buy, and that would be organic eggs. And technically it's not always organic. It could be farm eggs, it could be free-range eggs, it could be organic eggs, but generally I just don't buy grocery store eggs. So I'm sure most people have heard of or know about like factory farming and stuff like that, and I can't say that I know what goes on around here, but I know that it happens somewhere, some places, and definitely in the States, and probably around here. I don't know. I don't know exactly. But so, like in factory farming, they put so many chickens in a small space, right? And so when there's so many chickens in a small space, then of course the rate of disease goes up. So then they put antibiotics in the feed, and the feed can be questionable as well. Like it could be genetically modified corn or whatever in the feed. So there's just all kinds of factors there, right? And so, you know, they put them in this tiny place, or too small of a place for the amount of chickens, because you know animals are supposed to be able to run free. They're not meant to be caged, and you know they feed them all this crappy food to fatten them up, and then you know it's just, yeah, and it's all different. So I mean, I feel like there's no way. Jennifer said she was told free run is different than free range. I think you're right. I think that there's just so many different ways of wording it, and I think that in order to have whatever label on your package is like so many hoops to jump through. Like it's so much harder for someone to have just clean, pure food and just not use crap and put it out there. They have to be certified this, certified that, paperwork and all this other kind of fees and things like that in order to have the labeling, whereas people who just make crap products don't have to put any labels, like, because they're not trying to certify it as any kind of like organic or anything like that. So I mean, it's never going to be perfect. You're never going to get the perfect egg unless you have your own chickens and you know exactly what they're eating and you know how much space they have to run in and all that kind of stuff. But I just try to choose. I just don't buy regular grocery store eggs ever. A lot of times I will just get the organic ones like this, but they're pretty expensive, like $6 to $7 usually. A lot of times I go up to Wilson's Farm Market or Blue Barn Farms. These are places in Hammonds Plains where we live, and they have like farm eggs. So they're smaller farms. What is this doing? They're small farms, and so they're not, you know, using all this stuff that's necessary when they're doing a huge production, right? Where else? They have a farmer's market here in Hammonds Plains at the church down on the Kearney Lake, the Larry Utek Road. And there are eggs that come in from, I want to say, I forget the name of the farm. The girl who makes Inner Wolf, her name's Kathleen. I'm sorry, I can't think of the name of her farm, but I'm pretty sure they have eggs and they have meat and stuff like that as well. But yeah, so I mean, this isn't going to be a super long video, but I just want to say, like, this is why I eat a lot of eggs too, and I know that's controversial. You know, over the last few decades, doctors would say that eggs and the yolk of eggs would raise cholesterol and stuff like that. I've read research that doesn't agree with that, and I mean, if you stop and think about how you know, we've had all these experts and associations for the last 30, 40 years, yet everything's getting worse. So how much of it is right? I just, to me, the most natural thing, the most natural that I can get with the least amount of messing around with my food is the best thing. So it might be organic if I go somewhere and they only have regular and like say Rowe Farms or something that's also it's in the organic section or the natural section, but it's not out with the regular dairy, then I'll go for that. If I can get to the market and get farm eggs, then that's even better, and they taste so much better too. Also, one point I want to make is, like, it comes from an animal, right? And if that animal is being mistreated and it's miserable, you know, that's an energy that's in their body. And so I feel like if the poor animal had a horrible life and was terrified and unhappy and sick, then that sort of energy transfers, like that's part of them, their food that you make out of them. So I don't really want to consume that energy. So I feel like if it's organic or free run or free range or any of those things, I feel like at least they might be happier chickens than the ones that are like factory farmed. You know, it's a shame. I wish that, you know, we could stop all of that and everybody would go back to kind of local and stop using all the pesticides and junk and stuff in foods and antibiotics and things like that. You know, you aren't going to need antibiotics in your feed if you're not trying to stuff so many animals into a confined space and therefore, you know, increasing the rate of disease and all that. So anyway, that's just my take. I never buy plain eggs, but I eat eggs every day. I usually eat 2 eggs for breakfast with some sort of carb and a fruit. That's just me. That's what I need to fuel my body. And since I've been doing, you know, since I started my fitness journey and sort of started out with a 21-day fix the container program kind of thing, it's just that's how I start my day, and it's kind of easy to, like, 2 eggs is a serving of protein, so you know that's that, and then yeah, it's just how I've been doing it. And yeah, I don't know, I know that there's a lot of controversial stuff about it and that kind of stuff, but for me, that's just what I do. That's one thing I will not do, is buy grocery store eggs. I know that technically the natural section is in the grocery store, but I always buy eggs from the organic section, or a farm or a farmer's market or things like that. I never buy those ones. And also there's something else that happens. They spray eggs down with, like, I don't know if it's a pressure wash, if it has bleach in it or not. I'm not positive. Don't quote me on that. But it like messes with the coating or something. So if you were over in Europe, they don't even refrigerate their eggs. They just leave them on the counter for like 3 weeks. And so I think that when they mess with the coating, the natural coating of the eggs, when they spray them down, pressure wash them or bleach wash them, or I'm not sure exactly what the process is, that's when you mess with their ability to stay fresh on the counter, and that's why we end up refrigerating. But yeah, like over in the UK and Europe and stuff, they don't refrigerate their eggs. They just leave them out on the counter in a dish. So I feel like we're just far away from the most natural. We're just used to being, our food is just there and we don't know where it comes from, and I feel like people need to get back to knowing where their food's coming from, knowing the person who raised the chickens, know the people who raised the meat and things like that. And I mean, it's hard because it's so much easier just to go to the grocery store and that, but I mean, we live here in Hammonds Plains and there's a few farms around, and there are farms that will welcome you in to see their process. So I know that you can go to Olton's farm, Noggin's farm. I wish I could remember the name of that lady's farm. I don't know if you guys know. She has Inner Wolf raw dog food, and her name's Kathleen, but I cannot think of Mountain something, I feel like, but I can't think of it. But anyway, so yeah. So that's my take. I don't eat regular eggs. I eat those ones, and I eat 2 a day. So everyone's like, oh my god, you're only supposed to eat 2 eggs a week. Yeah, no. I don't think that it's affecting my cholesterol or anything like that. I think that eggs are like the most complete food when you eat if you were to eat the shell and everything. Obviously, we're not going to, but in terms of like what it contains, the shell contains calcium for bones and teeth and things like that, and then the protein and then all the stuff inside is just, it's like one complete meal. Hi, Jennifer. Thank you. So yeah, so that's just me. That's what I do. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below or send me a message. I'd be happy to chat about it. If I don't really know the answer, I'll be happy to look it up for you or try to find a source. And yeah, I hope you guys are having a really good day. Thanks for joining Coach Robin's Organic Must-Haves this Friday, and I will see you guys soon. Have a great weekend.